Well, good morning. I'm the Reverend Dr. William L. Johnson III, the chaplain here at Christian Hospital for Palliative Care. And I'm so happy and so glad to be able to share with you once more for our morning meditation. As often as we have a chance to do this, I say it every time, it is a joy. And why is it a joy? Because all of us at some point as we are journeying through life are going to go through some valleys, some difficulties, some hardships, and it's good to have someone to journey with us, to encourage us along the way, and to inspire us to keep on going, even in the face of difficulty. And so that's our purpose here today. As we share today, I want to also encourage you to leave us a note. Let us know what you think about these messages. I want to try to make sure, we want to try to make sure that you are receiving them and they're helpful, and that we don't go too long or not dealing with topics and ideas and thoughts that are important to you. And so that is why we're sharing these messages. Today's message is entitled Getting What We Want. Let me say it again. Getting what we need. Getting what we need. In my mind, I have the song that is sung by Mick Jagger and I think the Rolling Stones, as they said, you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you'll find what you need. And that's what I want to talk about today, the idea of getting what we need, getting what we need. Often in our lives and in our journey, we discover that we are often wondering, trying to get the things we want, and not aware that our wants are not necessarily the same as what we need. And what we need in life are very simple things, it seems, but our wants get in the way of those things. We want a car, but we need a car, but we want a Maserati. We need a place to lay our heads or a home, but we want a huge mansion. It is so strange how we transplant our needs and our wants, and it confuses us because when we are chasing our wants, sometimes we neglect the things that we need. And let me say a little bit about our needs. Our needs are those things that are basic to who we are. And when we are afraid, when we fear that our needs will not be met, it causes us to act differently. For those of us, we need certain things. Yes, food, shelter, love, clothing, companionship, friendship. Those are things that are important to us for what we need. And often when those things are threatened or when it seems that we cannot have those things, we are put in a place where we're scrambling about trying to figure out how to fill in the holes that have been missing. Often we do it with things that really are not good for us. It's like having snack food, fast food even. I'm hungry, but I surely don't need to stop by McDonald's. It's not good for me. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't taste good, but surely I want that hamburger. Or I want something that is going to help me deal with a lonely place. So I'm hanging out with friends or people who are not necessarily the best for me, or I'm going places that I really can't afford to go, but I need something. And so because I need it, I place those things that I think are important before me, and I try to reach for them, even if they are not what's best for me. Well, I'm here to share with you just a couple of things, and I'm going to have a brief message today about what it means to actually have what you need. Because when we don't have what we need, then it brings about fears, faults, and failures. Yeah, fears, faults, and failures. When I'm worried that my needs will not be met, then it fosters fear. Fear of the other, fear that I won't have what I need, fear that the doors will not be opened, and it moves me to act on those fears. One of the reasons why people find themselves setting themselves apart from other people, not trusting other people, not trusting themselves, is really about fear. And now, many of you who are a part of some religious traditions have heard that fear is false evidence appearing real. That's the acronym. But it's more than that. It is that which says that even though I am looking in the face of something that should frighten me or that will challenge me, my needs are important. And when I don't believe that those needs will be met, I might choose to do something other than what I ought to do. Such is the story of Abraham and Sarah. God had promised Abraham that he would be the father of many nations, have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, so many that they would be like sands on the seashore. And there was a challenge, however, because it took so long. By the time God brought Abraham to the place where he's possibly going to have children, he's already 99 years old. He's almost 100 years old, and his wife is about 90 years old. And it seems impossible. So why would God make them wait so long? But sometimes our waiting is not because we can't have those things or they're not accessible to us. It's because we're not ready for them. Yeah, because if we were to receive them, we would probably not treat them with the value that they deserve. I don't know about you, but I've received a lot of things out of time that I didn't really honor. My first car, I drove it like it didn't make any sense, and I ruined it because I didn't take care of it. I didn't know enough to take care of it. Now that I'm older, I know a little bit about taking care of some things, but also I need to learn how to do some things better. Because when we are getting our needs met, we're happier. We have peace. We feel a sense of who we are. And so I want to share with you just these things, these quick notes, and I'm going to leave it alone here. That it is an amazing thing to find yourself wondering if you'll have your needs met, but it's not your job to meet your own needs, at least by faith, that is. There is, in the 6th chapter of the book of Matthew, this admonition and really advice. Don't worry about your life, what you shall eat or what you shall wear. Consider the sparrows and how God feeds them, the birds of the air. And consider the lilies of the field or the flowers in the field and how they grow. They neither toil or spin, and God arrays them better than they ever did Solomon. Well, what do you mean? In other words, it ought to be easy. Life is hard, but it doesn't have to be when we are focused on our needs and not so much our wants. Every day we wake up and we have everything we need. The frustration comes when those things don't come when we want them and how we want them. And so that we have to adjust our when and how and recognize when we look back over our lives, we've had everything that we ever needed. Well, that might be the way it is for you, Chaplain, but that's not the way it is for everyone. I'm aware. But what I will say to you, I want to encourage you to trust the one who created you to give you what you need. And be careful with transplanting your needs with the things you want. Because our wants more often than not, will detract us and move us away from the very thing that we need. Thank you for giving us your time. I want to encourage you each day. I want you to know that you're loved, you're appreciated, and you're irreplaceable. You have something to offer to the world, something to offer to your job, something to offer to your family. And there's nothing better than a person who's satisfied with their needs and able to have some of their wants. The wants come. You can want things. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but never lose sight of what you already have is what you need. I've had everything I need, and it gives me a spirit of gratitude to appreciate the journey that I've been on. I look around and I think of those things, and I'm realizing that life is so much better when you change your perspective and change your view. Thank you so much. We'll see you later. Take care.